Welcome to Two Sisters Podcast with your hosts, Kristy and Melissa, who are real sisters bringing you real talk about life and faith through humor, insight, and community. Now, let's get into this week's episode.
What's up, guys? It's Melissa.
And Kristy.
And welcome to Two Sisters Podcast. So we're still in the series of being a Black woman in these Americas. For this particular episode, we will be focusing on entrepreneurship. So being a Black woman entrepreneur in these United States of Americas. What I would like to say, or how I would like to address it. Oh, well, Kristy, do you have it? You good with me? Because I just been, I'm just on one. I'm on a roll.
Go for it.
Because when you're an entrepreneur, it's so much. Like, I know that entrepreneurship is not for everyone, and I know it. I guess what I want to concentrate on, or my point of view, is this. Entrepreneurship for me is also not like money is literally not first, second, third, fourth, fifth on my list of things, although, of course, you need to make money. My first thing is about purpose. My next thing is about legacy. And it's just about helping people. And I also want to say that that's on the front end of it. The back end of it is also about flexibility and me being free. As I'm helping people, it's a fulfillment, if you will, like it's a fulfillment. Now, with all of that being said, it's so dynamic. It's so intricate in that with flexibility, with freedom, with the money, with helping people, with legacy, with purpose comes great responsibility. And I mean that by, it's work. And people always want to chase after the thing that they see what other people have, but they don't know the work it requires to have those things. And I think that people also want things quickly and not working for it. Like there's a process, there's a beginning, you start here and then you end up here, and there's a middle line there. That it's the middle that people don't talk about or don't know about and want to skip. They want to skip to the end part where they have the things that they are dreaming about or um, desiring. And so I just want to say that again, there's differences. First of all, being Black, being a woman, and being in these United States of America, and being an entrepreneur. So I'm not saying that it is harder. What I am saying is that I wake up a Black woman every day, and there are different things that I have to face being Black. Like, so one of the things I want to say, like, these are some things, and this is just me being a Black woman. We're not even talking about the entrepreneur. Walking in a store or walking in let's just go with a store. Sometimes, and now it's better now, like, I don't run into this as often as I used to, but like sometimes when I went in stores, people would make me feel like I didn't belong in those stores, like I couldn't afford to be in those stores, like, and the last time I checked, money's the green. Everybody had the same color of money. Okay, so again, that used to kind of trip me out, how it is that people want to sell things, or they have a product or a service, but then they want to pick and choose who they sell to. It's very interesting to me. So for me, when I did become an entrepreneur, and being an entrepreneur, I don't quite understand that. If I have a product, if I have a service, why does it matter what color you are to purchase or buy that service or product? That never made any sense to me. And I guess I'll give my sister point of view on that in a minute, but I'm just talking right now as far as the things that stuck out to me. And the reasons what I see why people become entrepreneurs. Most times or sometimes I feel like it's not about purpose or legacy or any of those things. It's about money most of the time. So people literally just create something to make money. And I wonder how long that lasts. And maybe to me this is part of the problem, because it's not about helping people or a group of people or a community. It's literally about that individual main purpose. Their purpose is to make money. And so, I just wanted to talk about that. And I also want to talk on the flip side of it about the work it entails to be an entrepreneur. And again, the sacrifice of yourself to be an entrepreneur, especially if you are doing it for reasons of purpose and, helping people in the community. That is great sacrifice, because most people think that they can leave a 9 to 5 and go be an entrepreneur, but you literally work. I mean, I can't even tell you the hours that you're going to work. You're going to work long hours, and it's going to be harder. Okay. However, it really doesn't feel hard because it's what's in you to do. So I'm also going to leave that for
if it's purpose.
if it's purpose. Yeah. It's really not stressful. And again, this is a part of our coaching session season. So again, these are different things, are different subjects that we get from our clients. Is how do they navigate? How some of them ask me, how do I take care of myself? How do you take care of yourself? How do you balance family, balance, some work a full-time job and like do their side business on the side and pursuing to make it a full-time thing for them. Like, it's so many different things, and yeah, things that they need help with. And so I wanted to just talk about that, like the withal, like the courage. It takes courage. You really do have to have faith, I believe, in yourself, to first of all believe that you can step out and be an entrepreneur, because you're the one basically essentially signing your checks. You're the one that's out there promoting, doing what's necessary for your business, for yourself, whatever business you're in, whether it's a product or a service. You're the one that is doing the business, handling your business. So that's a difference when you leave out of working a 9 to 5 for someone, or even being in corporate America where you're in a C-suite or executive level of things, making 6 figures, to going into entrepreneurship. Those are all different spaces that you have to figure out how to navigate and live. And so you do need to know how to take care of yourself and still like have almost like a well-oiled machine. And that takes time, and it is a process. Have anything to say so far, sis?
Yeah, we just got finished doing an episode about
Corporate
America, right? And when you get to a certain level, you're working constantly. You really don't really have a life for yourself because you take your work home. So if you're used to having a job like that, where you're giving, 16 hours for work anyway, then you can be an entrepreneur, you can be a business person, right? Like for Melissa, she stated that, money's not her first thing, and it's really something that she does not like when people go into business and it's not purpose driven. They're not trying to help the community. They're just trying to make money. And sometimes because that is their focus, their business doesn't.
It's no good customer service. It's just, I'm serious.
She's still on it.
Okay.
Their business doesn't, work out the way they thought it would, is what she's saying. And so for me, what would entice me to own a business or become an entrepreneur, especially as a Black woman, would be freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Freedom, 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 and more freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Freedom of what?
Freedom of your time as far as you set your schedule. Now, are you going to be working long hours? Yes, but you're working those long hours for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're cutting yourself that check or writing yourself that check. I mean, obviously, other people are writing you checks as far as like products and services and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, you're not turning hours in to a big payroll system, and you're not. I look forward. And when I speak to freedom, like when I envision creating a business or like writing a book, in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is gonna make me some money so that I can have freedom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is not necessarily money for me, it's freedom. Freedom to have the type of schedule every year I want to. And by that means I ask myself when I want to go on vacation. I get permission from myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I can go see a loved one, when I can go to someone's graduation, baby shower, wedding, celebration of life, right?
Yeah.
And that's always been important to me. And so I think that's one of the biggest benefits when you've been at a job, even if you have a regular 9 to 5,
right?
Even if it's the easiest job ever, you can do something that is easy for you, but just do it for yourself, right? And the first goal is to make as much money as you're making on your job. So if you're making 35 grand, come up. Why can't you do the exact same thing you're doing right now for someone else?
For yourself.
And throw an LLC on the end. Okay, comma LLC, right? And so I think sometimes we maybe overwhelm ourselves in these, big, gigantic starts where you're like, oh, I'm going to make $1 million. I'm going to leave this $35,000 job a year. And my expectation for myself is to make $1 million in the first year.
So you're saying be realistic.
I'm not saying I don't want to throw that word realistic out there. I'm just saying don't overwhelm yourself.
Okay.
And don't put yourself in a box is what I'm saying, because you are living. Don't look down on yourself is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because what you're thinking is, oh, I only make 35,000. So in order for me to be successful, I gotta make $1 million in the first year. Well, if you're living your life successfully independent on 35,000
and being free,
and it's working for you, then how about do that same thing or similar or whatever, a similar activity that's going to bring you 35,000 a year, because you're trying to get that freedom, right? The point is you don't want to work for somebody else for whatever your reasons are. For me, it was freedom, or it is freedom, right? Because it's still a work in progress. For Melissa, it's purpose and community. You see, I ain't say nothing on my list. Okay, her 1, 2, and 3
is purpose, legacy.
I'm like, freedom. You understand? That's my first. That's my first bonus of, I want to be a successful entrepreneur. I want to be a successful businesswoman, to get freedom of my life choices and of my schedule, right? And so that my advice would be not to put yourself in a box and just say, hey, let me just replace my current income, whatever that is now, and start a business venture. That is my goal. And when I replace my yearly salary, or when I'm bringing in my monthly income or whatever, I can put in this 2 weeks. Right? It doesn't have to be so grand, because, social media and, television outlets is telling you that you have to be a millionaire, or you can make $1 million overnight, and you can do all of this stuff. Listen, whatever the freedom number is for you, it doesn't have to be the same as somebody else, and that's okay. Or if you want to go to part-time, if that would be your freedom level, and you want to just work less, at, that job, and then have a part-time, a business that makes you part-time money. Start where you're comfortable, but don't compare yourself to other people and feel like you are failing because you're not ready to jump out the gate immediately. And if you're not making six figures, $100 grand, $200, $350,000 with your business, then you're a failure. No, because look at your life. You're making it. You're paying your lights, your water, your groceries. You have transportation, and you have shelter on whatever salary you have now. And you go to work every day. You have that discipline, and you do that job, and you get that paycheck weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, right? Or by service. Maybe you invoice people and get it. Whatever that method is, you're doing it successfully now. So why can't you do it successfully for yourself? Just start there. It doesn't have to be grand.
Good advice. I like that. Don't overwhelm yourself.
Yeah.
So I would say too, like, I guess the different way of putting it is define what success is to you. Have your own definition of what you mean by success. Not don't compare your success to other people's success. It's definitely individual based. So have your own definition of what would be success to you, and then make your goals, your milestones to reach that success for yourself on your own terms and your own words, like what it would be for you. So your definition of what your success would be and what it would look like. I think that's a good.
And also, we're having, everywhere you see, when you open your phone or turn on the TV, you're seeing commercials and advertisement about be your own boss, be an entrepreneur, be a businesswoman, own your own business. Look, it's okay if that's not a goal of yours.
It is.
Your goal may look different, right? For example, you might be a teacher who is going into the school system right now, and you would like more freedom. So to you can become a remote school teacher where you're working 100% online, right? Same career, but everyone knows you have more flexibility in a remote job. Even if it's just you have access to your refrigerator, and you got your favorite snacks, and you can make a smoothie, on your planning period. Like, just whatever that means to you. Don't feel pressured to be an entrepreneur and be a businesswoman if that's not something that is your goal. Like, there's people who make career transitions, and that's success for them. They go from one area of expertise to another and either make more money or have more responsibility, and that's their success, or have more freedom on their schedule, or something. Right? It doesn't have to be entrepreneurship or business.
I wanted to get real deep. I was going to ask you, if you thought there were any differences in being a black entrepreneur than your entrepreneur friends who are not black.
I think, generally speaking, just like any other arena of society, Black women are, I know there's a lot of articles out there now, and there's articles about we're the most educated, and we're getting all these grants and these monies
and businesses,
to start businesses, but their resources are there.
Right.
But as far as the view, I don't think the view has changed much.
Right.
We're still expected to fail.
Yep.
As Black people as a whole. And when we don't fail, it's this one is unique.
Right.
Right.
This is the exception to
the exception to the rule. Whether it's acting, whether it's music, whether it's sports, whether it's education, science, math, politicians, whatever. If a Black person succeeds, it's surprise. Right. So like that unspoken pressure is there, and it's been there since we knew or found out, however you found out she was Black. Whoever told you. Whoever told you he was black, right? Right. Sidebar. We're sitting at the kitchen table with our little cousin, and our little cousin has, they have those like 64 packs of Crayola crayons. And so, they're coloring this, coloring whatever's on their paper. And we're like, oh, hey, who's that? Oh, that's me. And they're coloring their stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, great. You know what color are you using to color your stuff? And they look at the crayon, they're like, peach. And so did we bust their bubble that day? No, number one, we're not their parents. Okay. Number two, we were like preteens at the time, 12 or so. It is not our job to tell our little black cousin, right?
They black.
That have a black mother and a black father, like black, right?
Blackity black.
That they're black. That's not the conversation for a 12-year-old to have with a 2-year-old.
Right.
Or a 3-year-old.
Right.
So, but when we find out, however we find out that we're black, there is that unspoken pressure. And so I think that's unique to black women, black people that have businesses or are entrepreneurs that maybe another race or another culture would not have. And of course, me and Melissa, we live in America. So these are our American experiences. We can't speak to living in another country for a long enough time or any time to speak to that culture.
Do you think, what about stereotypes? Like
besides we're going to fail?
Besides we're going to fail. Well, besides they believe we're going to fail first, basically.
Or we're stealing or we're thieves.
We're thieves, exactly. Right. Or if we make it, it's almost as if, let me just say this. It's almost as if it's in the musical realm, that it's expected that if you have money, you're either a baller or some rapper, basically. You don't think that? You don't think that?
Give me a little more.
When people see, because again, like I said, okay, I do frequent stores.
If you go to someone and they say, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" You say, "Oh, I'm a musician."
No, I'm just saying that when people see you in a nice car, say like, nice car, you're dressed well, or if you, first of all, I don't like all the chains or whatever, but if you're like dripped in diamonds or whatever, or if you live in a certain neighborhood, okay. They just expect that you are certain. You only can be successful if you're in these certain industries.
Got you. Yeah. So no, I don't. I think when you meet other people out here in the world, and you are and this is for other people because no, that's not true. I would rent cars for my job, and I would be in something that was deemed a luxury car, right? Because my normal car ain't luxury, all right. But say I would get this luxury car, and so I don't think it's an expectation for someone
look like you
that looks like me to drive a car of said caliber, put whatever label you on it. And there are double takes, and there are
I mean, if you drive this car with your natural hair, looking very naturally black,
yes,
all right.
I think so for me, it's not necessarily, I haven't gotten the, are you a singer or dancer or what? No, I've gotten dancer a couple times, but that was when I was younger. Right? When I was younger.
Yeah.
But like, so Melissa and I we come from a like a tech industry. So I mean, their eyes get big and they're like, what?
Right.
You're in tech?
Exactly.
I get that all the time. I mean, all the time, from men, black men, white men. It doesn't matter what race or gender. It's like their eyes pop open. They're like, huh?
Yeah. when you tell them how much you make an hour. Like it's
Yeah.
amazing to me. Like so yeah, I do also feel
Which
like
no one shares that, but
yeah,
Melissa's talking about specifically when she went to purchase her home. When she went to purchase a home, and she can share that if she wants.
I
Obviously you have to give a certain, you have to give uh
income.
your income. And so the person thought she was talking about per year. And so that's
Right.
another story. So like,
Right.
I don't think, maybe it's because of our maturity level or like our age. I don't run into that. Oh, are you a rapper or are you a singer or dancer? Like I don't get that, but I do get surprised on the profession that I am in all the time. Like it's very,
It's still the same to me. It's still
it's definitely a stereotype of, oh well, wait, you make, because immediately when you tell them tech, they know you're not making dimes,
right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so whereas Melissa walk out of the house, you can tell she make money.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's not listen, that's not true. Listen.
She gets, facials and things of that nature. Like I have to, anyway, I digress. So people really aren't approaching me anyway on a like stranger basis on like, what do you do for a living? It's more in like social settings when we're actually having, like if I'm having a conversation with a stranger in a social setting, or maybe I'm getting.
So it's expected for you to be grilled when they ask you what you do. See, that's what I was asking, because I've
Did I take too long to answer the question? You just cut me off.
I'm so sorry.
Man,
Go ahead.
I
thought you was done.
Go ahead.
I thought you was done.
Go ahead.
I didn't know you were still talking about it.
Listen. Okay.
I didn't know, guys. I thought she was finished.
So basically, you're saying stereotypes. Period. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, stereotypes. Period.
Yeah.
Like, it don't matter. I just gave examples because I've seen it. First of all, people automatically assume that you in one of those type of industries if you dressed a certain way.
Right. Don't tell them you wrote a book.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Exactly.
You're an author.
That's another thing.
Oh my gosh.
My goodness.
Right, and Melissa has done, a children's book, and so she's different, in different genres. So they're really like, huh?
Anyway, yeah. So
it's so funny.
It's funny, but it's so not funny. And I guess
funny.
I bring it up because I guess it's part of like I've been saying in these other episodes.
Yeah.
Like even with the coaching
session,
there
is a difference.
It is a difference, and it's just like how to navigate those emotions, because it's at the end of the day, it's very exhausting to have to explain what you do every single time, because you got to justify the reason why you got money or can't be in a store that you're not supposed to be in, or because that's the first thing they do. If I walk in certain places and I'm able to buy certain things,
yeah,
because I actually do like nice things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I can go buy it and not blink at the price, then it's like, oh, what do you do? And that's the first thing that come out their mouth. Now, I just saw 5 Caucasians in front of me, and I named not one. Okay, was asked what they did. So it's just a difference. And I know people like, oh, Melissa, you're reading so much into it, but when you wake up Black every day, it's not. Okay, you know the difference. And so my point in saying this is that Black people get tired of people acting like they don't know when something's different.
They don't know what they're doing.
Right. Or if they feel like what they're feeling is not justifiable or validated. Like, we don't need your validation.
Right. Like it's imagining it.
Right.
We're making it all up.
We don't need your validation and telling us how we should be feeling and that we're making too much out of something. No, we wake up Black every single day in these United States of these Americas, and we know exactly what is going on. So yeah, I just want to say that, and I'm gonna stop there because.
And to your point, it's like another expectation is for you not to say nothing.
Exactly, and I was born.
For you not to say
in a different time
and point out
your
experience that you're having. Like,
right.
Why are you asking me what I do?
Right. And so now that's what I do sometimes when I feel like
what?
And I'm not becoming offensive or defensive. It's the fact of I'm asking you why you asking me that. Am I not giving you a card? Did it not like approve? So why are you asking me what I do? So yeah, I start calling out people sometimes when I feel like they need to go ahead about their business. Okay, because I get tired of justifying the
Success.
the fact that I can go in the store and buy what I want to buy.
Yeah.
Or, go where I want to go or whatever, it's just.
And then, when you have those experiences, and Melissa's I don't, I haven't had those many to speak of, or maybe they don't stick out as much to me, but like when you do have those experiences, it's like, is this company even worth me buying?
Exactly.
It's like you look at the company, you're like, do I even want to give my money to this ignorance?
Exactly. And I don't.
It's just like,
and I don't.
So
that's
a whole nother
episode. And again, like I said, and again, for me and for my clients, like I give those examples, like, because what I'm saying is that people need to be reminded that they have to have their own principles and morals and values. Like, you have to value yourself. I don't have to patronize you. I don't have to patronize your business. Patronize your business.
Yeah.
I don't have to support you. You don't want my support, apparently. Okay, so I don't.
Because we one of the groups that spend the most money.
The most money.
Black women.
So I'm just like, I don't gotta be here. And so again, like, I have a choice. You want to make me feel like I don't, but I do, and I recognize it, and I accept the fact. So again, like, when I'm working with my clients at the same time, it's like, you also have to be emotionally mature. You have to be emotionally mature. It's not like, you got to act like you you don't have to act like you arrived and you just better than people who can't afford to be in those stores. But you do need to make sure that you respect yourself, that you're not being disrespected because you can't, and devalued because you can. Like, just be like, I know that they don't see many people come in there of color sometimes, and I almost feel like it's their first experience with a black person sometimes. And
wow.
Like, it's almost like when they see your hair, can I touch it? No, ma'am, you can't. Can I? Why? Did you ask that lady right there? Can you touch hers? Why you got to put your hand in mine? Like, that's how I feel sometimes with these experiences in these stores or with other people. And
it almost feels like a zoo.
Like you an artifact in a museum.
Right, a museum or like a zoo.
Like, man,
like
you never seen black people before? Oh my God. It is 2022.
Well,
so come on, man. Like, so yeah, that's
well, I mean, they might have seen black people, but then maybe they haven't seen black people.
Well,
come
I'm not the
in,
first one you need to talk to when you
come in looking like you looking person, but you purposing.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's it, guys. That's all I got for you. That's all I got for you. What I'm saying to you is, it takes work. Okay, it's not for the faint of heart. And you still, and again, this series, as far as being a black Christian, I'm gonna throw Christian in there because that for me is my anchor, and how I treat people and how I expect to be treated. You don't have to be a Christian, but what you're gonna do is respect me because I'm not being disrespectful to you. So, and be lucky. Okay, be glad that I'm saved too, because I'm not gonna go out here and avenge or go out here and get you back, or go out here and just try to be bigger and badder than you. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what I'm out here trying to do. So
I mean, I think because we are Jesus believers, thank God, God is our anchor, because when you are confronted with disrespect, inequality, disregard, violence, just all kinds of, bigotry,
shenanigans,
having an anchor in Jesus Christ and a Bible you can open to and a God you can pray for that will give you comfort is what keeps you stable.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like faith. Just think about, Martin Luther King and, you turn on a TV and you got people getting attacked in their non-violent protests by dogs and being beaten down and water hose and, you know, looking at it is like, wow, how could you really do this? And they're not fighting back. They had this supernatural, right? Because you're looking at it like, how in the world is somebody able to do this? They have this supernatural strength, right?
And courage.
And courage that's coming from someone other than themselves, which we identify as God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? And so just thank God that we can have that stability and that we can go to God when times get rough and tough. And we have someone to speak to. We have someone that understands. We have someone that comforts us. And that's where prayer comes in, and a prayer life, and just reminding yourself what the Bible says. Like, oh, wait, I can't
pop off.
I can't. Oh, I don't. Oh,
right.
Okay. Turn the other cheek.
Exactly.
Turn the other cheek. Okay. Vengeance is not mine. Okay. It's yours. Okay. So like, thank God for that anchor. You know what I mean? And, Christians aren't perfect. Jesus believers aren't perfect. But we have a peace, right? We're able to have a peace that surpasses understanding. And that's the whole phrase is surpassing understanding. You don't understand it unless you are in the body of Christ.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's intangible and it's almost unexplainable,
Right.
So if you are out there and you are experiencing being Black in America, and in these series that we're doing, and it's weighing on you, we encourage you to go to God and open that Bible and just saturate yourself with the word and talk it out. Like, don't suppress those emotions, talk it out. God understands. Let him comfort you. Let him advise you, let's use the tools that we have, music, positivity, when you have to surround your environment with positivity.
Yeah.
In these days and times, turn on that worship music, spend that time with God, have those calming moments to center yourself on that anchor, on your belief, on your faith.
All right. Good talk. Well, guys, again, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for listening. Again, share your thoughts and comments with us. We'd love to hear it. And again, till we speak next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Two Sisters Podcast, where we hope to encourage you on your journey of transformation and healing while having fun along the way. Follow us on IG and Twitter. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family. It's available on all major podcast providers. Just search for Two Sisters Podcast. Till next time.